What is it you are afraid of in walking away from a settler relationship? 0345 6060 973. 13 Rue has tweeted in to say it's easy to get comfortable, then be unhappy, but scared to let go. That's what it is, really, isn't it? It's fear. It's that fear of being on your own. It's that fear of having to go dating again. It's that fear of being lonely. We all have it. And very interestingly, my next topic I just want to look at, before we go back to those calls, go back to your calls on settling, is to do with something called the Lust and Love and Loneliness Report, which has been released by the Family Stability Network. First report they've ever brought out, and it paints a rather sad picture of today's young men and their quest for happy relationships. Going to talk to Emma Hay, who's Digital and Marketing Director at Family Stability Network. She'll tell us all about it. Hi, Emma.
Hi, Lucy.
Hi, thanks for coming on the show tonight. Really fascinating report. And given what I was talking about in the first half of the show, I was really intrigued that you are talking about men, a high proportion of them, nearly 2/3 of them, who worry about being alone for the long term. What made you do this research?
One of the main reasons we did this research was that we found that for young men in particular, there just wasn't enough attention given to their relationships and to their worries particularly. And so we wanted to do a piece of research. We wanted to give these young men a voice so they can say, hey, we're struggling in our relationships. We are worried. Some of the men that we spoke to, they said that they often feel they need to give this big bravado. I'm a man and I never have any problems and I never worry about anything. But, and actually, like you said, 64% worry about being alone, and almost half of them worry about, they feel alone a lot of the time. And so we wanted to really give a voice to these young men to say that, hey, we recognise that you have worries in this area.
It's interesting because, again, another statistic that came out of your report is that over half the men that you talk to worry that they're going to be laughed at if they talk about their feelings, if they're open about how they feel. And there was a very interesting book that came out in the last week, I think, the hook of which was a woman who's taken photographs of men and their penises. But the whole thesis that she's looking at is masculinity and how men feel about being male, what it means to them. What other things did you find then in your report?
The young men, like you said, over half of them worry that someone will be laughed at them. 41% are not comfortable at talking about their feelings. And so we wanted to be able to give a place where these young men can be vulnerable, but they want to get, where they can speak their voice. We found that 8 out of 10 of these young men want better relationships advice. So, there is a lot of great relationships advice already out there, but for some reason, either it's not reaching these young men, we interviewed 16 to 19-year-olds, or it's not relevant for them. And so we, as FASTN, we created Status, which is an online platform. We're on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, where they can come and share their experiences, young men and young women, where they can get relevant advice on social media, which is something where a lot of them are already present. And
that's where they're getting advice. But the interesting thing, you picked up another problem, which is a sort of online problem, which is the amount of porn that they're watching. And again, in the book, that came out with all the photographs of the penises, there was this idea that if you watch too much porn, it can actually really cripple your confidence because you don't think that you measure up, literally and metaphorically, to what you're seeing in porn. That actually, for men, there's a real crisis of confidence about what their penis looks like.
Yeah, we asked actually about porn and what impact that's having on these young men's relationships. And 41% said that they think porn is helpful, but the same number, 41%, said that they think that watching porn makes it harder to maintain a long-term relationship. And 43% worry that they watch too much porn. And so there's just a lot of confusion over whether porn is, real, whether it's helpful, whether it's not helpful. And so we are desperate for more research to come out about pornography so that, more organisations and government-backed funding and surveys can come out to say, this is actually the impact that porn is having, because these young men aren't sure about whether it's a good thing or not.
Yeah, they just want a concrete answer, don't they? Emma, thank you so much. Emma Hay there, Digital and Marketing Director at the Family Stability Network. And they have produced this report, which just highlights how vulnerable young men in particular feel about themselves, about their bodies, and about their love lives, the expectations that they have for their love life. So I would really love to know from you whether there's a man in your life, a brother, a cousin, a friend in your friendship group who really appears to be struggling sexually, because, where are people going to get this information?